Good evening, welcome. Couldn't be more excited to share tonight with all of our inductees, our former athletes, former coach, your families, your friends. It's quite an honor to be inducted into any Hall of Fame, but I'm a little partial, especially to the Weber State Hall of Fame. So before I go any further, though, just a special thanks to the Hall of Fame committee, the organizational committee, all the people who volunteered tonight to make tonight's event possible. And I think that it's important that you understand that we certainly appreciate it. Sometimes it goes unnoticed, but we certainly appreciate all the hard work and dedication that you put into it. Every year I get up here and I think to myself, all right, what is something I can say that's a little profound? I certainly know the individuals that are being inducted into tonight's Hall of Fame. Some I know well, some I don't know. Rico Washington, rest in peace. So I think really, I always land on this. I think the profound thing is the inductees and the things that they did while they were here at Weber State. They made a profound difference in the lives of their teammates, their experience that they had, the lives of the people in our own community and their family and friends and all of that. So I think that's really the profound thing that I look for. And so with that, again, we couldn't be happier to have everyone here tonight and to share this evening with you. And for the inductees, congratulations. To your families, congratulations. You're part of the 2025 Weber State Athletic Hall of Fame class. And from here on out, you will forever be known as Hall of Famers. So congratulations. Enjoy your dinner. And about 30 minutes from now. Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. Please feel free to continue eating. And we're excited for this night of our 2025 Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame. I'm Paul Grew in Athletic Communications at Weber State, and I'm honored to be here tonight and so grateful to look out and see so many of you here. This is a wonderful night. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. I say this every year, kind of like Tim, I guess. We kind of think of things to say about this event, but it really is one of my favorite events, and I love the history that we have here at Weber State Athletics. And tonight we get to celebrate a big part of that, and that's what's exciting about this. So this is a prestigious event, a prestigious honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. We've had thousands and thousands of athletes over all the many years at Weber State, and coaches and athletes and administrators and so forth. But there are not very many that can say they're in the Hall of Fame. In fact, there's 159 individuals and 2 teams that are inducted into our Hall of Fame. And tonight we're going to add 5 more. Now, I know there are some, in fact, there are quite a few current members of the Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame. Let's have you stand up, all you Hall of Famers. I know there's quite a few. There you go. That is impressive. Yeah, keep going, keep going. Oh, yeah. There are many of you. So congratulations to you. And again, the class that we're going to induct tonight is part of that fraternity, I guess, of that family of Hall of Famers. We actually do have a Hall of Fame at the D-Event Center. D-Event Center is under some construction right now, but it's about to open up here soon for our basketball season. So when you're over there in the South Concourse of the D-Event Center, you can see the Hall of Fame with the plaques that everybody has, and so go by and see that. You can also see some things online as well. As Tim mentioned, we want to thank our Hall of Fame committee. Many of them are here tonight too. They do a great job of preparing for this event. Carrie Thompson from the Wildcat Club as well. Also, Robert Casey's here to take some photos for us, and we'll take plenty of pictures after the event for you and your groups. And also Alan Farron, who helps with our video and productions of this event. We'll put this online too. So let's get to the class of 2025. We have another class with a lot of diversity and a lot of different backgrounds from different areas, and that's what makes it so fun. Different sports, all of that is so different, and that's what makes it a lot of fun. Our first honoree tonight is Kelsey Chugg. Now, Kelsey Kelsey could be inducted into probably a couple of Hall of Fames in her career of what she has done so far. She was a member of the Weber State women's golf team from 2011 to 2013, played for Coach Jeff Smith, a Hall of Famer himself. She's a two-time All-Big Sky selection. She won 3 individual tournaments during her Wildcat career and has also had 6 top 5s and 9 top 10 finishes. She was named Big Sky Golfer of the Week 4 times and earned multiple academic honors. And now since she left Weber State, she has gone on to an amazing golf career where she has won many, many events. A 6-time Utah State Women's Amateur Champion. 6 times. And probably more to come, Kelsey, I'm sure. She's also competed in many, many national events as well and been in the finals of several of those events. She really has had an amazing career. Tonight we get to hear from Kelsey Chugg about her golf career at Weber State. Kelsey Chugg, our newest inductee into the Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone. Made it up without falling, so good start. I'm going to try to fumble through this the best I can. Bear with me here. Standing here tonight fills my heart with gratitude. Being recognized among the legends of the Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame is truly a dream come true, and I'm genuinely humbled by this incredible honor. I want to extend my congratulations to all of the other remarkable inductees being honored this evening. It has been amazing to read and learn about your journeys and accomplishments. Next, I would like to thank the selection committee. Your dedication to preserving the rich history and celebrating the achievements of those who have shaped Weber State athletics is commendable. Being woven into that legacy is a privilege I cherish deeply. Playing golf has opened doors for me that I never imagined possible, including the chance to attend college. My time on the women's golf team at Weber was the most significant and transformative period of my life. During those years, I grew significantly, and the lessons I learned extended well beyond the game itself. My time at Weber State helped me build confidence and skills that have contributed to my success both on and off the course. Golf is often seen as an individual sport, yet some of my favorite memories were created with my teammates. They became my best friends and in many ways my family. The lessons we've learned together, along with the laughs and memories we've shared over the years, bring me so much joy. To my amazing friends, family, and teammates who are here tonight, thank you for being a part of this journey. Your friendship and encouragement have meant the world to me, and I am grateful for each one of you. To my wonderful family, you are my rock. Thank you for your endless patience and unwavering support and for lifting me up when I'm down. You have put up with my passion or obsession with the game, and whether you liked it or not, golf became a significant part of your lives as well. Your belief of me has been my guiding light throughout this journey. You've been my biggest fans and have always been there to remind me that every sacrifice was worthwhile. And I sincerely believe this honor belongs to all of you as well. I moved a lot when I was a kid, but I'd always spend my summers in Ogden. And stayed here with my great-grandparents and my grandparents, and found my passion for golf when I was around the age of 12. My grandparents would drop me off at Schneider's Riverside Golf Course in Riverdale, where I would play or practice all day. And those moments were incredibly formative. The Schneider family treated me with such kindness, always encouraging me to get out on the range or the course, and Ernie would give me a bucket of balls or come outside to offer putting tips. Their generosity has made a lasting impact on my life, and I hope to inspire others just as their family has inspired me. As a proud student athlete at Weber State, I always prioritized my studies. Although I wasn't sure about my future, the professors in the professional sales program and the staff in the athletics department guided me with great care. The valuable lessons they taught me about relationships, etiquette, and collaboration are things I carry with me every day in my life and career. And lastly, I want to honor Coach Smitty. His influence on my life is immeasurable. He took a chance on me. He didn't know who I was, and invited me to join the team. I attended a junior college my first 2 years, and I always wanted to go to Weber State. But he didn't know who I was, and my friend Lindsay introduced me to him, and he said, "You got a spot on the team, kid." So he didn't know anything about me, but took a chance, and I can never thank him enough for that. He passed away in 2016, and the guidance he provided to me, both on and off the course, still stick with me. He taught me the importance of being kind to everyone you encounter. He just was the nicest, most caring person I'd ever met, and he taught all of us so many life lessons. He was just a kind of a goofball in a lot of ways, but such a fun man. And no one loved Weber State more than Jeff did. He's a legend. Just so proud to have the privilege of playing for Jeff. But thank you so much. I'm honored to be a Wildcat. I'm so excited to continue to represent the university in whatever comes next and support the women's golf team and all the other programs. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for this incredible honor.
Kelsey, great job and congratulations. What a wonderful story. You're now a part of Weber State history. Our next Wildcat member of the Hall of Fame is Taron Johnson. Taron is not here tonight, but coming out of high school in Sacramento, Taron Johnson had one Division I college offer. And you can guess it, that was Weber State. Coach Jay Hill, in his first year at Weber State, recruited Taron Johnson to come. He actually was recruited as a wide receiver at first, but he turned that one offer, he turned into a Big Sky MVP, an All-American, an NFL draft pick, and now a long career in the NFL, and now a member of the Weber State Hall of Fame. He played 4 seasons for the Wildcats from 2014 to 17, and he earned all Big Sky honors 3 times, and in 2017 was named the MVP. He was part of the memorable 2017 Wildcat team that won the Big Sky title and advanced to the quarterfinals of the SCF's playoffs, and that year he was a consensus All-American. He was the first Wildcat to be drafted in the NFL in 8 years, and now he's in his 8th season with the Buffalo Bills. He's one of the top cornerbacks in the league, and he earned All-Pro honors a couple years ago. Taron's played in 103 career NFL games. And that's the reason why he's not here tonight. He's, otherwise committed with the Bills. They actually had a game last night, and he was unable to make it out here tonight. But earlier this week, Taron sent in a video so we can hear from him about what this honor means to him. So let's hear now from Taron Johnson on being inducted into the Weber State Hall of Fame.
How you guys doing? It's Taron Johnson here, and I am so incredibly thankful for the opportunity to be inducted to the Weber State Sports Hall of Fame. And there are so many people who helped me get to this point in my career. I want to start with Quinton Ganther, who came to my school, a kid who wasn't highly recruited, didn't have a lot of offers. He came to my school and talked to my teachers and talked to my coach and said he wanted me. And him going above and beyond with my counselor, with my teachers, just trying to make sure I had everything I needed to have in order to be qualified for college was extremely special to me and something that I'll never forget. When I got to my first visit, which at Weber State, Coach Jay Hill tells me that anything I want to do anywhere else, I can do at Weber State. And he was meaning going to the NFL. That's something I had wanted to do since I was a child. And him instilling those opportunities that I would get to have in the future was huge for me. And him seeing that confidence, him having that confidence in me was everything, So get there my freshman year. We're not the best team, but we have a great coach and a great coaching staff, And starting out at, I want to say 2-9 my freshman year, then going to 6-5 my second year, 7-4 my third year, and I want to say 11-2 my senior year. So all that just shows the progress that we made with the time being there. Now, to my teammates guys like Daryl Demby, Jawan Harrison, Keelan Benjamin. Those guys were so essential with my growth being in college. They pushed me, you know? They pushed me to being the best player that I possibly could be, giving me that mindset. Those guys had a different mindset, and I adopted it, which helped me become a better football player. Now to Jay Hill, man, you've done so much for me. I came in as a receiver and told you that I wanted to play corner, and you smiled in my face. You thought it was a great idea, you know? And that was amazing for me. That gave me all the confidence I needed to continue down that path, and you coached me hard and coached me well. You're probably the best coach I've ever had, and I'm extremely, extremely grateful for everything that you have done for me. And so many other people that helped me get to this position, from my dad to my sister, and them just being there for me. And it's been an amazing journey, and the journey's not over yet. And I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Helping me be where I'm at today. And Weber State was a huge stepping stone in getting to where I'm at. And I'm so thankful for all the people and all the opportunities that the school and football has helped me receive. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Taron. I know you'll probably watch this later, but what a great honor. And that's one of the things that we love about, everybody has a unique story, but his story, to think that he came from one offer, his only chance to play Division I football was here, and he turned that into an NFL career, a long NFL career. And now when you can go watch the Bills play, watch out for number 7 there, and know that he's a Wildcat and he's a member of the Weber State Hall of Fame. So congratulations. Our next inductee is Linsey McFarland. Linsey, congratulations. Linsey played 4 seasons with the Wildcat soccer team at Weber State from 2003 to 2006, and she is one of the all-time greats, and now will be remembered as that for sure. She still, today, ranks as Weber State's career leader in points with 65, and she's also first in game-winning goals with 12, and tied for first in career goals with 25. So that's pretty impressive. Linsey was part of 2 Big Sky regular season championship teams and 2 tournament teams that won the Big Sky title. She twice earned all Big Sky honors and was named to the all-tournament team 3 times. And in 2005, she was part of the Weber State team that knocked off BYU in penalty kicks in the NCAA College Cup. That's one of the great wins in Weber State history in any sport, that is for sure. That was a big-time win. She played in 77 matches and started in 72 in her 4 seasons at Weber State. Our newest member of the Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame, let's hear from Linsey McFarland.
Okay, this isn't my thing. I don't do this kind of stuff, but kind of wanted to be where Taron was on the video instead. But my daughter asked, she's like, would you rather be here or speaking at church? And I was like, probably here. And then now I see, probably not here. But, but yeah, let's try to get through this. I'm super honored to be here tonight and joining these, how many are there? 4 other inductees. And I remember my time playing at Weber State, I saw CT all over the place. I mean, all over campus, basketball games, and she was intense. And I I loved it. It was like super don't cross her path too tight, but she was, so it's awesome. I saw her in the list, and it was like, wow, I remember CT, and that's amazing that, I'm here, kind of at the same time as far as being inducted. And let's see. So ever since I was a kid, I dreamed of playing college soccer. Played since I was tiny. You'd come watch Weber State games and you couldn't believe, how good, fast, big, strong they were. It's like, I'm never going to be that old. Like, I'm never going to, like, how? And now it's like, I'm double that age, and how am I this old with 4 kids? But I was able to get 2 of them here, by the way. I had to bribe them and twist their arms and get them here, but I'm trying to show them how cool I am. So we'll have pictures for the other 2 that wouldn't take my bribes. But so I had offers from a handful of schools around the country to come play, and I'm kind of a homebody. I just like being around my family. So Weber State kind of felt like a good fit, close to home. My family would be able to make, games and be able to hang out with them and stuff. And looking back, I know that was the choice that I was supposed to make. It all just kind of fell into place perfectly. I want to first thank, as far as my time went on the team, coaches and teammates. So Tim Crompton, I don't know where he ended up sitting. Oh, over there, yeah. He was my coach. And Tim was, not saying this just because he's here, was my favorite coach throughout my not just college, soccer career. Hands down, he was the guy that if anybody brings up soccer and coaches, he was the kind of guy that you just wanted to play hard for. You wanted to do your best. You wanted to make him proud. And you knew when he wasn't, happy with what you were doing, but he didn't, it was more just you saw his head kind of go down and his hands behind his back, You just kind of knew like you had to kind of flip the switch. And I'd hear, Mac from the sideline and knew I had to kind of switch gears a little bit. But Tim, I love Tim still. I love crossing paths with him, and he made my time at Weber State awesome. And also my teammates, several of them, 3 others have been inducted into the Hall of Fame. Megan, I didn't play with her at Weber State, but she was around when I played, and I always looked up to Megan. She was another intense athlete, and always, you could just tell the love that she had for the game, and no surprise that she's a Hall of Famer. She was actually flying around at practice. She was always, getting in goal and flying around, and it's like, oh, she should, still be playing college soccer. So a couple memories that I have from playing. One that sticks out is my freshman year. Coming in, college soccer was a big thing, as a freshman, and all the older girls, you looked up to them, and you wanted to, some were scary, and you wanted to just do what you had to do to make them happy and try to, and I'm the type that I'm quiet, I would just do what I had to do, go in and play as hard as I possibly could, and hope that they were my friends off the field as well as on the field. So we were playing against Northern Arizona, and we had to play up at St. Joseph High School because our soccer field at Weber State, I don't know if anybody knows what it used to be like, but it was just kind of a mud puddle. It's just like a big puddle at the bottom of the hill, And if you look at when that field became a field, it was after we beat BYU. So I don't want to say that, my time and my teammates' time at Weber State was the reason that they have the field they have now, but I like to kind of tell them that we were the reason they have that place now. I was lucky enough to play my senior year on the field, so that was awesome. Anyway, back to that game. So freshman year, there was probably 4 inches of snow on the ground, snowing crazy snow constantly, and they would try to shovel the lines off, but it was just snowing so fast that it was covering it all up. So we played full 90 minutes and tied 0-0, went into overtime, and the 106th minute, the balls bounced around in the snow, sliding around, and I was able to toe poke it into the goal and win that game. And I think that was a conference championship game. So if we won that, then would host the Big Sky tournament. So that was a memory that I'll always have because it was just fun being that person that, was able to put the game away, and for the seniors, keep their season going and keep it alive, and add a few more games on. And over that game, we already had, I don't remember the name, but the gentleman that was speaking before, he touched on the BYU game. That's obviously my number one memory, favorite moment, favorite game, favorite day, being at Weber State. We had played BYU earlier in the season. They always beat us, and it was always like 4-1, that type of score. That's not a good score if you're 1, right? But they're a great team, still are a great program, but we always wanted to beat them. So my junior year, we made it to the tournament as well. We ended up playing University of Portland and got smoked by them. We were so happy that we made it to the tournament, though. First time in school history, we went to the NCAA tournament, made it to the first round, and that was awesome. Junior year, though, we knew we wanted to make it to the tournament, but we wanted to win a game, or 2 or 3. We knew that we could. We had a team that was just full of talent and fire. I mean, we had teammates pushing refs because they were so competitive. They didn't make a call their way. So we got put up against BYU, and we knew that was our chance at them. So went through the full regulation time, 90 minutes, tied ball game, double overtime, 0-0. 1-1 maybe. Sorry. And went to the PKs, and we had a keeper that made some awesome saves, and our girls put the goals away. So if you see there's a picture in the field house of the soccer team. And I've never been in the field house. That's terrible to say. But I've seen the picture a lot. Everyone sends it to me when they see it. And it's us celebrating, and apparently I look real silly jumping in. But that was when we beat BYU. So when you see that picture, that's a big celebration after that game. And it was awesome to win, but it was the resilience and grit and the way our team was able to believe in each other and just step up for each other. It was so awesome to be part of that for those reasons. So looking back, I realized how much my college soccer years shaped me. I've always kind of been, like I said, quiet. I like to be in the back watching, but when it comes down to it on the soccer field, it was almost like a switch would flip. And I felt comfortable there. I felt that's where I just thrived. So, and the only reason I'm here today really is because of my teammates and coaches, Tim Crompton. I mean, I wouldn't be scoring goals and assisting and, that sort of thing if I wasn't getting the ball up front in front of the goal. So I appreciate my teammates and coaches. I wish there was more teammates here to let them know that, they were a big part of this. And I get to see some of them every once in a while, and it's amazing that the friendship and bonds that you get by playing college soccer. It's a little bit, or college sport, I guess. It's different than, high school and just your friends. You've gone through a lot with those people. And I feel like it's just a different, like a family bond. And then my parents and family, I want to thank them so much. My mom and dad were at every game I can think of. They were cheering me on, and they were driving hundreds of miles to be there at my games. And my 2 sisters, I thank them too. I don't think they always wanted to be at the games, and they still say we had to go to all your soccer games. And I'm sorry for that. That was always the family vacations were Linsey's soccer games. So, but I love them and appreciate all the support that they've given me. And even past college soccer, I've got my husband that's supported me and always cheered for me, and he's the one that tells everybody about my records when I'm like, stop, don't, It's embarrassing. Just stop. And she holds the record still. So I hope I'm a good example for my kids, and they can kind of see the hard work and whatnot that goes into this kind of a thing. It's a lot of work that goes unnoticed, but I think when you have a love for something, it's easy. It's easy work, right? It's hard, but it's easy at the same time. So tonight I'm standing here, I'm humbled and grateful, not just for the recognition, but for the memories and lifelong connections that came from playing the sport I love at Weber State. I've always been super proud to be a Wildcat. There's been people that have kind of been embarrassed almost to be a Wildcat. I don't see any problem with it. Look at how many amazing people and whatnot. But I've always stood proud and worn my purple proudly. I'm not a purple girl, but I love purple. So, and then again, thanks to my family, teammates, coaches, and everybody that's been a part of my journey. And I'll always be proud to be at Weber State and be connected to Weber State in this way. So thank you.
Congratulations, Linsey. Well done. And what a memory of that BYU win. And 20 years ago this year, that BYU win. What a like I said, one of the best in any sport that we've had here at Weber State. Our next inductee tonight, CT, Carla Taylor. Oh, there she is. Okay. So Linsey described you as being intense, and I think you still are, right? When I started in 2004, my first assignment was to work with women's basketball, and I was a little scared of CT, as many probably are too. So in 1980, young Carla Taylor came from North Powder, Oregon to Weber State, to Ogden, Utah, to play basketball for the Weber State women's team. And 45 years later, she's been associated with Weber State that entire time. What a great journey, CT. She was a standout athlete with the Wildcats for 4 years, played women's basketball, and was a great player, and also was a member of the track and field team. And then in 1989, at the young age of 26, right, CT became the head coach of the Weber State women's basketball team, a job she would have for the next 23 years. She coached for 23 years hundreds of athletes and coached the Wildcats to a whole lot of wins. In fact, can we have anybody that played for CT or coached with CT please stand up? There's many of you. CT, what a great turnout, and what a great group here to have you. And there's many, many others. She is still first in Weber State history and second in Big Sky history in career wins with 308 wins, and also had 180 Big Sky wins, which is also a record. Coached 3 Big Sky MVPs, many all-conference players, and led the Wildcats to 2 memorable Big Sky titles and trips to the NCAA tournament. She's still been a part of Weber State. She's done work for TV for the Big Sky Conference and for Weber State on ESPN games. So 45 years later, she still continues at Weber State, and now she's a member of our Hall of Fame. Let's hear from CT.
Wow, I'm a little nervous. Linsey, I'm with you. I'm a little nervous. I've been known to start out speaking with a joke or two. I promise I won't do that tonight. I've also been known to lip sync to Cher and Britney Spears, and I promise I won't do that tonight. What I hope to do tonight is share with you how much it meant to me to wear a purple and white number 20 jersey with Weber State across the chest, and also to have the opportunity to coach at my alma mater. It's an honor to join the other 4 2025 Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations to each one of you on your exceptional careers and success. Thank you to the Hall of Fame Committee, the Wildcat Club, President Brad Mortensen, Athletic Director Tim Crompton, Senior Women's Administrator Kayla Morgan, and all the support staff that made this possible. In my nearly 30 years, I watched Weber State College become Weber State University. I still have a t-shirt. It says, "Roses are red, violets are blue, we're a university just like you." I still have it. We went from the flying W to the block W. I worked with 4 university presidents, 9 athletic directors, 6 men's basketball coaches, 1 longtime courtside announcer, who's still there, Rob Alexander, and most of the same table crew are still there that were there when I coached. 14 of my assistant coaches, not counting 5 fifth-year GAs. I was fortunate to have the best assistants. Many of them are here tonight. No one ever achieved success by themselves. I would not be standing here tonight without the help of my assistant coaches. Thank you for your loyalty, dedication, jeez, I'm gonna get all emotional. Hard work and hours spent putting up with me. Wasn't easy. Each one of you played a significant role in my coaching journey. My basketball career, I loved every minute of it. As a female student athlete in the early 80s, we were the beneficiaries of Title IX. We played basketball for the love of the game. A scholarship meant an opportunity to have our education paid for. We were loyal and stayed loyal to the college that recruited us. Not so much now. Yeah. We appreciated that we were given 1 pair of basketball shoes, 1 set of practice gear, it even got washed every day, and we wore the same polyester uniforms for all 4 years. I had the best teammates and coaches. Success isn't just measured in wins and losses, but also in what you gain from the experience. However, we did win a lot of basketball games. Building relationships. My former teammates have become friends for life. Thank you to those who came to join in the celebration tonight. Building relationships and making connections with people has been an important part of my entire life. Being your true, authentic self. These simple principles open doors for me to pursue my dream to coach college basketball. My connection with a star University of Utah basketball player and assistant coach, Jane Quimby, was instrumental in helping me connect and connecting me to then head coach Elaine Elliott, who had a graduate assistant position open. I interviewed, was hired, and was exposed to one of the best basketball minds in the business, as well as coaching blue chip athletes at the U. When I was a freshman playing, this is how I got to know Jane Quimby. We played my freshman year, it was early in the season, we played in Old Swenson Gym my freshman year, and we beat Utah 96-95, and I had 24 points as a freshman. We later played Utah a few weeks later, and Jane Quimby guarded me, and I'm not kidding, I don't think I touched the basketball. She was a senior, I was a freshman. After that year at the University of Utah, they eliminated the graduate assistant position, so I was out. My next connection was with a prominent family up in Morgan. I had been coaching their daughter, Amy, private basketball lessons. Morgan High School needed a basketball coach, so off I went to Morgan High. Teaching in the classroom, coaching volleyball, basketball, boys and girls track. It was an experience that I'll never forget and probably prepared me for what was ahead. At the end of the 2 years, Coach Elliott contacted me and asked me to come back to the U. And I don't know if very many people know this whole story, that's why I'm telling you. She contacted me and asked me to come back and be a full-time assistant, and so needless to say, I was ecstatic, because now I could get back into college coaching. And especially in a program rich in winning tradition. And some of those Utah players that I coached, not just my Weber State players, but some of the Utah players are here tonight, so thank you for coming. So I go back to Utah for 1 year, one whopping year, and Weber State's looking for a basketball coach in the summer of 1988. I got a call, and I believe it was from Nancy Weir, who was on the committee, who was also the athletic trainer when I played. She asked me to apply for the job, and I said thank you, but no, I wasn't ready, and I didn't feel like I had the experience. I get a second call in July, and I think it was from Coach Blaisdell, and he asked me to apply. I said, thank you, not just no, but hell no. I didn't feel like I was ready. The third phone call came from Coach Elliott, because they were calling her now. And she said, you might as well go and talk to them. They know your situation. The rest is history. I was hired to be the head coach of my alma mater, my dream job. My first team, alongside my first ever assistant coach, was Ann Handy Jones. Ann played and was a star at the University of Utah and also an Ogden High graduate. She was the perfect fit for me. Our 1988-89 team, we had 3 talented seniors, a scrappy point guard, a long-range shooter, a dominant post player, and some talented underclassmen that bought in right away. And we went 17-9 to start my career. Over the next 12 years, myself along with assistant coaches beat the recruiting trail, searching and building with in-state players first, out-of-state players from the Mountain West region, and junior college talent. Finally, after 13 years, now keep in mind, I'd never won a championship, not high school, not as a college player, not even my 2 years when I was at the U, but that was almost a given that I would get a championship. So after 13 years, finally, in 2002, we were Big Sky champs and earned a bid to the NCAA tournament, only to repeat at the very next year. Those championships teams comprised of 2 in-state locals, one of the most competitive guards I've ever coached, a mobile dominant post player, a blue chip freshman recruit, 2 transfers, one from Nebraska and one from Missouri, and surrounded by unselfish teammates who also contributed. What a ride that was. Coaching is a privilege, it's a responsibility, and is a love for teaching the sport. I feel honored to have coached so many talented, dedicated, competitive, and loyal Wildcats. However, when I reflect over the 23 years, these are the things that come to mind. Bonding team camping trips, teary parents would drop their freshmen off, we scooped them away. In-home visits, meeting the recruits and their parents in their homes. Oh, I have a lot of stories about in-home visits. Can't tell them all. Preseason conditioning, when I made up the workouts, yikes, that was a scary one. 6 a.m. practices, nobody messed with our practice time. Earl the Pearl Bullock, giving you Snickers bars after home games when you turned in your uniform, and him standing down by the scoreboard yelling, "Miss it!" as opponents shot free throws. My stomping on the sidelines, calmly disagreeing with the referees. Cotton Eye Joe dancing up on the table while operating the music. Where's Joe? Right there, the man. During practices, me asking Nancy, can you just slide her off the court? Satellite camps in the small town of North Powder, where players, years after years, came to coach camps for my nephews and nieces in Eastern Oregon kids. The pit crew, led by our pit boss, the super fans, and so many loyal season ticket holders and fans. The elementary field trip that Rochelle implemented even writing grants for buses so they would have gas money. And lastly, graduation day, watching our student athletes go on to be doctors, lawyers, teachers, coaches, PAs, jobs in criminal justice, UPS, FedEx, sales, wives, and mothers. We have a great deal to be proud of. To my family, my parents, I owe a ton of gratitude. Raising a girl in the 70s, a tomboy, and they never put me in a box or ever discouraged me from my dreams. My brother Tim and his wife, Dana, who are here, Tim deserves a lot of credit for my athletic success. He was forced to let me tag along with he and all the other neighborhood boys in pickup games, Little League Baseball, and he hated it. My sister Jane and her husband Mike, favorite sister Jane is one of my biggest supporters. My niece Callie and her boyfriend Jason are here. My niece Ashley, her son Rev, daughters Della and Ricky. My niece Lacey, her sons Landon, Jackson, and Baylor. Thank you for making the trek, and you too, Roop. My ESPN broadcast gig, the courtside show at the Big Sky Tournament, play-by-play color, has allowed me to be involved in a game I love from a distance. Head coach Gentel Jackson is doing an amazing job. The program is in good hands. I wish I had 1/100th of her calming presence. Lindsay, you're right, I was a little intense. My advice always to Coach Jackson is keep coaching him up, Coach Jacks. And to end a very special night, I struggle to come up with the words that will do justice when trying to thank so many people who have coached me, mentored me, supported me, and have been unwavering friends to me. It may say my name on this induction, but hundreds and hundreds of you have a piece of it. Please know I genuinely feel like a millionaire, not in dollars, but rich in friendships. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Great job, CT. Congratulations. What a story. What an honor. And you're still going to be part of us still, right? Forever now. 45 years plus more, right, for CT. No, you got a long time to go still, right? Our final inductee tonight is Rico Washington. Rico was a star on the men's basketball team from 1987 to 89. He was a high school All-American out of Philadelphia, Ben Franklin High School in Philadelphia. And he probably never thought that he would end up at Weber State, but he did. It's an amazing story. He really had a lot of accolades. Perhaps he was this high accoladed player coming out of high school that Weber State ever had. He was a high school All-American, which is very unusual that a player like that would end up at Weber State. He went a different route and had some academic challenges, but he was able to go to junior college and then ended up at Weber State. He was nearly unstoppable with the Wildcats. For those of you that remember watching him, he really was a star player. He led the Big Sky in rebounding both seasons. He was second in scoring both seasons as well that year. Earned first-team All-Conference honors twice. He still, to this day, all these years later, still ranks as the leading career field goal percentage leader in Weber State history, and he's second in career scoring average at 21 points a game. That's nearly 40 years later. As you know, we've had a lot of great basketball players over the last 40 years, and Rico still is second all-time in career scoring. He took a path that no one expected, again, out of high school, but he ended up at Weber State. In an interview with the Philadelphia Inquirer during his senior season, he said, "I'm sure there are people out there who can't believe where I am today. Sometimes I can't believe it, but it makes me feel very proud. When I go home, people tell me that they thought I was dead or in jail or something. I tell them, nah, I'm alive and well living in Ogden, Utah." What a great story. Now, unfortunately, Rico passed away in 1993 at the age of 28, a very young age, and passed away too early. But he's so well-deserving of this honor, and I'm grateful that he's able to be remembered as one of the all-time greats. Tonight, we're going to hear from two of his coaches. We have two short videos from Larry Farmer, who was the head coach of the Wildcats, his first year that Rico played, and then also from Jim Mossell, who was an assistant coach in the second year that Rico played. So we'll hear from Larry Farmer and Jim Mossell introducing Rico Washington, a member of the Wildcat Hall of Fame.
My name is Larry Farmer, and I had the privilege of coaching at Weber State University for 3 years. And it was at Weber State where I came across Rico Washington. And the way we recruited Rico to Weber State, it was not one of these great recruiting feats where we found him as a high school player, we went out and we recruited him, but Rico reached out to us. My assistant coach at the time, Craig Impleman, came into my office one day after my first year at Weber, and he says, "Hey, Coach, I got a call from a high school coach in Pennsylvania, and one of his players named Rico Washington, who played in the Dapper Dan and was the MVP of the Dapper Dan Classic, is interested in coming to play for you at Weber State." And so I'm sitting back and I'm kind of thinking, this might be too good to be true. This is probably a prank. And so, we kind of investigated this. There's no internet where you could go online and make sure that all of this was actually true. And so through a number of phone calls, we kind of got to the bottom of it. And in fact, sure enough, it was Rico Washington, this great high school player, was looking for a place to go. And he'd heard about me being the head coach at UCLA, a couple of years before, and was interested in coming to play for me at Weber. So I went back in the fall, made an in-home visit. It was great to be around Rico's family, and I met Rico. He was a joy to meet. He certainly appeared, off the top to be someone I would want to coach and spend time with. And so we recruited and we signed Rico Washington, and we knew that this was going to be a steal. And so we brought Rico out that fall, and I'd never seen him play. Again, there was no YouTube highlights or internet, and so the first time I got to watch him play, I was late getting over to the D Event Center. The guys were over there, all the guys on the team, and they were playing in a pickup game. And as fate would have it, when I walked in the gym, the game had started, and Rico gets the ball. He gets it in the short corner about 10 feet from the basket. He rips and drives baseline, and he goes up and he dunks the ball. And I said to myself, my goodness gracious, the Big Sky Conference is in for a treat. They have no idea what's coming. And he was just a spectacular player. Getting through that first year of Rico not being able to play, but knowing that he would be eligible to play the next year, it was one of those things where we just couldn't wait to get him. One of the joys about coaching somebody like Rico Washington was, he was a big fish in a little pond. He never looked at the situation that way. He was a joy to coach. Any and everything that I asked him to do, he was always willing to do it. He was a part of an offense that didn't feature him. A lot of times he had to go and make his own opportunities or create his own opportunities. And, when you get a player that comes in with those kind of accolades, sometimes they come in and they're a little bit full of themselves. He was full of humility. And so from that standpoint, he made my job so much easier to coach him. And, we had our struggles that season, in my last year at Weber. But one of the bright spots in looking back was, of course, coaching someone who was that talented, who was also that easy to coach. So I'm absolutely delighted and thrilled for Rico in heaven and his family that he is going into the Weber State University Hall of Fame.
Hi, I'm Jim Mossell. I was an assistant basketball coach with Denny Houston and Ronna Bagelin, and I would like to talk about Rico Washington. Before I do, I'd like to congratulate all the recipients of the prestigious Hall of Fame award. My good friend Carla Taylor, also congratulations, Carla. Outstanding to work with and a wonderful coach. Now for Rico. Rico Washington was our first year here at Weber State, Denny and I. I was a player when Denny was an assistant at Washington, and I was community college coach, and he asked me to come along. So when we showed up, we had the opportunity to coach Rico. It was a gift. Might as well have been a Christmas present. He was an incredible kid. When he walked into a room, he had a giant smile, beautiful smile. He'd light up the room. And also, he walked in and had a great physical presence. He was a very strong young man, about 6'7", about 225 pounds, but he was solid. And his hands were gigantic. We used to joke he could palm Sunday. He was a wonderful young man and fun to work with. Very hard worker on the basketball floor. When he came to basketball, he showed up and he worked. And he had unique skills. He's an undersized postman. At 6'7", it had instincts that are very rare. He would catch the ball with those great hands. He could shoot through people. He had some qualities that make a solid, like, NBA center. He had great footwork. Like I mentioned, he had soft hands. He had the ability to pass the ball out of the post. He could score on anybody. They'd double down on him. He'd be double teamed. He could score through people. He was a good offensive rebounder, too. He was no doubt a 20-point, 10-rebound machine for 2 years here at Weber State. We had him for the one. And he worked hard at his craft. He had trouble away from the basket other than 10 feet, and that's a small criticism because when you're averaging 20 and 10, maybe you just stay down in the post. And we were smart enough to stick him down there, too. We had a pretty good season. We were 17-11 that year. We beat BYU at home, beat Utah State at home. Rico was a major factor in both those. We had a couple of good point guards in Moochie Cobb and Mike Savulich. We had a couple of good rebounders in Anthony McGowan and Chris Metke on the weak side. We had Mike Ostlund and Jason Joe playing a little bit of wing, who were good passers who could get the ball to Rico. And we also had Timmy Gibbs, who was a pretty good athlete and could slash and do a lot of things. He's probably over 50 years old and still playing professional basketball somewhere. But we had a really good team, and we did a good job. People were trying to stop Rico all the time. He was the number one person on the scouting report for every basketball team we played. They had to stop Rico, and he enjoyed it. That made him happy. He was a competitor in that sense, too. He did not like to lose. And in that sense, too, he made Mike Ostlund that year on the same side, giving the ball into the post, passing the ball into the post. Mike was leading the nation in three-point shooting because Rico passed the ball down to Rico. He gets double-teamed. You throw the ball back to Ostlund. He makes a three. So not only did he make himself a great player, he also made his teammates better, too. And that's a sign of an incredible player, too. Rico continued all season to be a stalwart and a strong rebounding situations. It was fun to watch him play. He'd go up and grab things that other people couldn't get. He was a fine athlete and a wonderful young man. It's an honor for me to talk about Rico. He passed away at a very young age. It was really hard on a lot of us. And it's hard to understand why, but he could have played in the NBA for many years if he was 3 or 4 inches taller. During that time period, most NBA teams were playing the Ostertags, the 6'11", 7-foot players. But Rico did play a little bit. He played in Europe, played in Mexico for a while. But if you ever had a chance to see him play, you remember Rico Washington. Thank you.
Thank you to Larry Farmer and Jim Mossell for those tribute videos, and grateful that we can remember Rico, and he'll always be a part of Wildcat history. Let's give a big hand again for Kelsey Chugg, Taron Johnson, Linsey McFarland, CT, and Rico Washington. Now all members of our Weber State Athletics Hall of Fame. At this time, we'll hear from Curtis Breitweiser, who will present the plaques. He's our Hall of Fame chairman and has been for a long time, does a great job, and he'll present the plaques.
Is Marcel here? I don't even know what Palm Sunday even means. I think that's a double entree. Anyway, I just want to mention a couple of things. First off, this is one of the most highlight things I've done in my life, being a part of this. And I was just counting back, and this apparently is the 35th year of the class of the Hall of Fame. And I remember back going to the very first one where on the signs out there it has Monk, was it Holiday? That he got up there, we were inducting him, and I think he was about 90-something years old, and his pants fell down. And it was choice, but what a memory there. I don't remember being on the committee that far back, but it was just soon after that I joined. But a group decided it was a good idea to have a Hall of Fame. And from what we've been able to try to recollect from the memories of Rob and Brad and a few, I just want to give them credit for having started this. Don Spainhauer, many of you know, Keith Hunt, Nan Holyoke was mentioned tonight, Dean Hurst, many of you know, Rob Alexander, Ensign Ritchie from the newspaper, and Brad Larson. And I should mention some of the people that have been on the committee in the past that served a long time, like Coach Hislop and Dutch Belknap, and many were instrumental in helping with this Hall of Fame. Like I said, it's quite an honor. One of the things that we do require is that you've been out of school for 8 years. Now, some schools require that you graduated from the school. We couldn't really do that because for many of the years we were a junior college. So it didn't make sense to require someone to be a graduate when they only maybe even were only here for a couple of years. But that 8-year period, some athletes kind of get a little antsy, wondering, why aren't I in the Hall of Fame? And we get around to it, we do. And I've said it before, I don't think we've ever made a mistake in who we've actually put into the Hall of Fame. I can say that. And those that are in the Hall of Fame and are being inducted tonight are so well deserving. And let's hear it from them. I don't want to mention each person's different things. I remember watching Rico play. There should be a little RW etched in the floor right down baseline 5 feet away that he could turn and score, and he made every single one of them, it seemed like to me anyway. And CT, she still does the tailgating thing. I mean, unbelievable. And I remember a young lady coming into my office. She probably doesn't remember this, to help get some green fees, help her on a, oh, you do remember. I helped her with some money to get a tournament she played in. Such an honor to be part of this and to each year do this Hall of Fame. And I'm thrilled. Your speeches were wonderful. I wish that Taron was here, and I certainly wish Rico was here as well. But boy, we would have had to hold this in 1992 to get Rico in, I guess. So that was sad. But we've put in a few posthumously, and it was hard. We didn't really know what to do with Rico. Even trying to find family was difficult. But I'm glad we were able to get him in the Hall of Fame. One of the members of the Hall of Fame, in fact, said, for this Hall of Fame to have any legitimacy, that he was the consummate Hall of Fame person. Get him in. And so we got him in this year. I'm really proud of that. So without further ado, I would like to welcome up to the stage, and I'm going to read it so I don't mess up anybody here, Kelsey Chugg, Taron is not here, Linsey McFarland, and Carla Taylor. Please come up and get your plaques and be installed in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. What do you got for us? Let's see here. Any particular order? Okay. Let's go right here. I get to stand by you and give you a picture. One more time. She wasn't really? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Curtis. As we wrap it up tonight, again, a special thanks and congratulations to these wonderful inductees. They will be honored again tomorrow night at the football game. The home opener for Weber State football tomorrow night starts at 7 o'clock at Stewart Stadium. It'll also be the lighting of the W on the mountain tomorrow night, so make sure you come out and watch that. Robert Casey, our photographer, will be happy to take all kinds of photos. He'll go out in the hall and take family groups and however you want to do that as well. Thanks for coming. And we like to say, Weber State, Weber State. Great, great, great.